The stars looked peaceful from the observation deck. Captain Jack Reed stood with his hands clasped behind his back, watching the distant lights. For the first time in 5 years, the war was over. The Krell had finally agreed to peace. Hard to believe, isn't it? Lieutenant Emma Ross stood beside him, her reflection clear in the thick glass. After all those battles, all those lost ships, and now we just shake hands and go home. Jack nodded slowly. The Council thinks this is what we need. A chance to rebuild. To stop the bleeding. The Krell Empire had fought humanity for control of the border systems. Thousands had died on both sides. Ships burned in the void. Colonies went silent. But 3 months ago, the Krell sent a message. They wanted peace. They offered terms. Earth, exhausted from the long war, accepted. The treaty was simple. Both sides would pull back their fleets. Trade routes would open. Prisoners would return home. The Krell even offered to share some of their technology as a sign of good faith. The Earth Council celebrated. Finally, humanity could rest, but Jack felt uneasy. Something about the Krell ambassador's eyes during the signing ceremony had bothered him. Too cold, too calculating, Captain? Emma's voice pulled him from his thoughts. We're getting reports from the colonies. The Krell are withdrawing their forces ahead of schedule. That's good news, isn't it? Emma frowned at her datapad. I suppose so. It just seems ... fast. Admiral Hayes had said the same thing during their last briefing. The old commander trusted his instincts, and his instincts said something was wrong. But the politicians wanted peace. They wanted to believe the war was over. Jack turned from the window. Send a message to... The station's alarm screamed to life. Red lights flooded the corridors. The peaceful stars outside suddenly filled with fire. Ships appeared from nowhere, dozens of them. Krell warships, their hulls painted with battle markings, dropped out of faster-than-light travel right on top of the human colonies. No, Emma whispered. They can't be. The first missiles hit New Terra. The colony's shields failed in seconds. Habitation domes cracked open like eggs. People died by thousands. Jack watched in horror as the colony where his sister lived disappeared in a ball of fire. All stations. This is Admiral Hayes. The old commander's voice crackled over every speaker. The Krell have betrayed us. This is not a drill. All ships engage? But there were so few ships. Earth had pulled back its forces. The treaty required it. Humanity had reduced its military presence in good faith. Now that faith burned along with the colonies. The station shook as Krell fighters strafed its hull. Jack grabbed Emma and ran for the docking bay. Around them, crew members scrambled to battle stations. Some never made it. Hull breaches opened to space, swallowing screaming people into the void. The shuttle. Jack pointed. We have to get word back to Earth. They ran through smoke and flames. Behind them, the station began to break apart. The Krell had planned this perfectly. They offered peace, made humanity lower its guard, then struck with overwhelming force. Dozens of colonies burned. Thousands of military personnel died in the first minutes. The attack was systematic, brutal, and complete. Emma piloted the shuttle away from the dying station. Jack sent emergency messages on every channel. Most went unanswered. Most stations were already gone. But a few got through. Earth would know. Admiral Hayes would make sure of it. As the shuttle jumped faster than light speed. Jack looked back at the burning colonies. His sister was dead. His friends were dead. Thousands of innocent people who believed in peace were dead. The Krell thought they were clever. They thought humanity would break under this betrayal. They thought one surprise attack would end human resistance forever. They were wrong. Jack had read the old history books from Earth. He knew what happened when you pushed humans too far. When you betrayed their trust. When you killed their families. Humanity didn't break. Humanity got angry, and an angry human was the most dangerous thing in the galaxy. Set course for Earth, Jack said quietly. His voice was cold now. All the warmth gone. The Krell want a war? We'll give them one they'll never forget. Emma's jaw tightened. What about the treaty? The treaty died when they fired the first shot, Jack said. Now we show them what happens when you betray humanity. The shuttle raced toward Earth, carrying news of the massacre. The Krell had made their choice. Soon. The galaxy would pay the price. Earth received the news within hours. The images came through on every channel. Burned colonies. Destroyed stations. Bodies floating in space. The Krell had killed 30,000 humans in the first attack. Children, families, people who believed peace was possible. The Earth Council met in emergency session. Some wanted to negotiate. Some wanted to surrender. They argued while the death count climbed. Then Admiral Hayes walked into the chamber. The old warrior was covered in burns from his destroyed command ship. Half his face was wrapped in medical bandages. But his eyes were clear and hard as diamonds. Negotiate? His voice cut through the arguments. Surrender? They just murdered 30,000 of our people under a flag of peace. And you want to talk? Admiral, we don't have the forces to, one counselor began. We have exactly what we need, Hayes interrupted. We've been preparing for this since the Krell first showed up in our space. You politicians wanted peace. I hoped for it too. But I planned for war. He activated a hologram. The council gasped. Hidden shipyards orbited Neptune. Massive construction facilities built in secret over the past decade. And inside them, hundreds of warships sat ready for deployment. Not the old designs the Krell had seen. New ones, better ones. How? A council leader breathed. Because I'm a soldier, Hayes said. And soldiers know that the best way to keep peace is to prepare for war. While you negotiated, we built. While you hoped, we armed ourselves. The Krell think they caught us weak. They're about to learn they caught us angry. Within days, the shipyards opened. Warships poured out like angry wasps from a broken nest. The human fleet assembled faster than anyone thought possible. Crews volunteered by thousands. Everyone knew someone who died in the massacre. Everyone wanted revenge. Captain Jack Reed took command of the Fury, a new destroyer class with weapons the Krell had never seen. Lieutenant Emma Ross became his tactical officer. Neither had slept since the attack. Neither planned to until the job was done. All ships report ready, Emma said as the fleet formed up. Over 300 warships. More launching every day. Admiral Hayes addressed the fleet from his new flagship. The Krell made a mistake. They thought betrayal would break us. They forgot what humanity does when pushed to the edge. We don't break. We push back. And we push hard. The fleet jumped to faster than light speed. The first target was a Krell military station near the border. The aliens expected scared humans running for safety. Instead, the human fleet dropped out of jump space with weapons already firing. The new human missiles moved faster than Krell sensors could track. Plasma cannons technology Earth had kept hidden during peace talks cut through Krell shields like paper. The station lasted 8 minutes. No survivors. Jack felt nothing as it burned. His sister's face haunted him. The faces of all those dead colonists. The Krell had wanted war. Now they had it. The second target was a Krell supply convoy. The third was a shipyard. The fourth was a command center. Each battle was quick and brutal. The human fleet moved like a hunting pack, striking hard and moving on before Krell reinforcements could arrive. Other alien races watched nervously. The peaceful humans they knew were gone. In their place was something cold and efficient. Something terrifying. The Krell sent messages demanding humanity honor the treaty. Admiral Hayes sent back a single response. You honored it first. This is our reply. More human ships joined the fleet every week. Earth's industrial might, dormant during peacetime, roared to life. Factories that built civilian ships now built warships. Mining colonies doubled production. Research labs worked day and night on new weapons. The Krell began to realize their mistake. Humanity didn't just have one fleet. They had the capacity to build 10 fleets, 20, however many it took. The Krell had population and territory. But humans had something else. They had rage. They had purpose. And they had the industrial power to turn that rage into fire and steel. 6 weeks after the betrayal, the human fleet pushed deep into Krell space. Every system they passed, every Krell military target, was destroyed. Admiral Hayes gave no quarter, accepted no surrender. The Krell wanted to teach humanity a lesson about power. Instead, they learned what humans taught best. Consequences. Captain Jack stood on the bridge of the Fury as another Krell station burned. Emma reported minimal damage to the fleet. They were getting better at this. More efficient. More deadly. Admiral Hayes is signaling, Emma said. The main Krell fleet has been located. Their home defense force. Everything they have left. Jack nodded slowly. Then we finish this. The human fleet turned toward the Krell homeworld. The galaxy was about to learn why you never, ever betray humanity. Asterisk. The Krell homeworld hung in space like a blue-green jewel. 3 moons orbited the planet. Massive defense stations ringed its orbit. And between Earth's fleet and that world sat every remaining Krell warship, over 2,000 vessels. The largest military force the Krell had ever assembled. They filled the space between the human fleet and their home with steel and weapons. This was their final stand. Admiral Hayes studied the tactical display from his flagship. His burned face showed no emotion. Behind him, every human ship waited for orders. 300 warships against 2,000. The numbers didn't favor humanity, but numbers only told part of the story. They're hailing us, the communications officer reported. Put it through. The Krell High Commander appeared on screen. His scales were dark blue, marked with battle scars. He spoke in broken human language. You have come far, humans. But this ends now. Turn back or we destroy you. Hayes smiled. It wasn't a pleasant expression. You destroyed our colonies. Killed our people under a flag of peace. You thought we would run. You thought wrong. We did what was necessary. Humanity grows too strong. We acted to preserve the balance. No, Hayes said quietly. You acted out of fear. And now you'll face what you feared most. He cut the transmission. All ships, Hayes broadcast to the fleet. The Krell wanted to teach us our place in this galaxy. Let's teach them theirs. Fire at will. The human fleet surged forward. Captain Jack Reed watched his tactical screen light up with targets. The Fury's new weapon systems locked onto a dozen Krell cruisers simultaneously. Around him, hundreds of human ships did the same. This is for New Terra, Jack whispered. For my sister. For everyone they murdered. Emma's fingers flew across her console. Firing solutions locked. All weapons ready. Fire. The space between the fleets became a wall of light. Human missiles streaked across the void, moving faster than Krell sensors could track. Plasma cannons fired in perfect coordination. The new human weapons technology they'd hidden, improved, and perfected tore into the Krell formation. The first wave of Krell ships died in seconds. Hundreds of vessels shattered under the human assault. The Krell had numbers. But humanity had spent decades preparing for this moment. Every weapon was designed to kill Krell ships. Every tactic was built to exploit Krell weaknesses. The Krell returned fire. Their weapons hammered human shields. Some ships took damage. A few exploded. But for every human ship lost, 20 Krell vessels burned. The battle raged for 3 hours. The Krell fought desperately. They had no choice. Behind them was their homeworld, their families, everything they were. They couldn't retreat. They couldn't surrender. So they died. Jack watched as the Krell lines collapsed. The Fury cut through enemy formations like a blade. Emma called out targets. Weapons fired. Ships exploded. Over and over until the void was full of debris and floating bodies. Finally, the Krell High Commander sent another message. His ship was crippled, drifting. Most of his fleet was gone. Please, he begged. Enough, we surrender. Spare our world. Admiral Hayes considered the request. Every human in the fleet waited. They could finish this. Could burn the Krell homeworld, like the Krell burned New Terra. Could make them feel the same pain, the same loss. But Hayes was a soldier, not a monster. Stand down, he ordered the fleet. Accept their surrender. Relief flooded through the Krell transmission. Thank you. Silence. Hayes cut him off. You'll land your remaining ships on your homeworld. You'll surrender your military technology. You'll pay reparations for every human life you took. And you'll live with the knowledge that we could have destroyed you, but chose mercy. Maybe that will teach you something about honor. The Krell had no choice but to agree. Word of the battle spread across the galaxy within days. Humanity, the species everyone thought was weak, naive, too trusting, had crushed the Krell Empire in 8 weeks. Other alien races watched and learned. Never betray. A human treaty. Never underestimate. Human rage. Never forget what happens when you push them too far. A new treaty was written. This time, humanity dictated the terms. No more would Earth sit quietly on the galactic stage. No more would others see humans as easy targets. Captain Jack stood on the observation deck of the Fury, watching the stars. Emma joined him. Neither spoke for a long time. Do you think they learned? Emma finally asked. Jack nodded slowly. They learned. The whole galaxy learned. You can make peace with humans, or you can make war with humans. But you can't do both. You can't betray us and expect mercy. The human fleet began its journey home. Behind them, the Krell homeworld survived. But the Krell Empire was broken, and the galaxy had a new lesson written in fire and blood. Never break faith with humanity. The stars looked different now. Not peaceful, not threatening. Just aware that the galaxy had changed, and humanity had made sure it would never forget. Asterisk.